So Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, wants to control your money. That's the subject of today's video, and these are the headlines. Senior US official to exit after rift with Musk allies over payment system. And again, this is a fight over control of your money. Effectively, Musk is staging a coup. We've been talking about this the last couple of days. It seems that Musk is sending out his agents all around to various agencies, requesting access for systems, and it's hard to know like who these people are. Do they even have security clearances on anything? Like what is your role here, etc. Because this whole Doge thing is new, and this is based on Musk's and Trump's executive order to just make this new thing. I want to read the details of this stuff, and when you guys understand what's going on here and how much money's involved, you're like, not good. This is the details. It says the highest ranking career official at the Treasury Department is departing after a clash with allies of billionaire Elon Musk over access to sensitive payment systems. So the person leaving is named David A. Lebrick, and he sent an email out to people working with the Treasury, so they know that he's leaving. It also says here, President Donald Trump named Lebrick as acting secretary, so that's what he was doing. He was it's like the most experienced person over there, and so he was acting secretary at the time. Lebrick had a dispute with Musk's surrogates over access to payment systems the U.S. government uses to disperse trillions of dollars every year. And then it also says the exact nature of the disagreement was not immediately clear. I'll just say this: when you kind of just look from a macro perspective, my feelings is when I read this stuff is like these Musk agents show up at your office and you're like, who are you? Like who let you in? That kind of stuff. And it sounds like they're trying to request access to these systems that very few people have access to. And the way I was thinking about it is like, just imagine someone comes into your office and is like, hey, I want to read all your emails. And you're just like, who are you? Right. And let alone we're talking about really sensitive material. This is not surprising because we've seen Musk and his agents do this stuff before. And again, it's like, who voted for this guy? Who voted for this stuff? This is all based on Trump's executive order. Musk has recently made a deal with Visa over a payment system. They want to create an everything app. And I've told you guys this stuff before that it wouldn't shock me if suddenly you figure out that, oh, okay, so Musk wants to use his, Twitter X app to disperse your Social Security, Medicare, etc., and figure out ways to skim off the top in some sort of no bid contract. That's sort of what I see happening because it's kind of obvious when you look at this stuff. The reason why we don't have these kind of apps, Musk calls it the everything app where they control payments and all this information on you, is because it's illegal in USA. We don't have monopolies in USA, so we're not supposed to. We have antitrust laws, but because Trump and Musk, they want to deregulate everything, make monopolies more happy and more easily made. This is what you're seeing. This is some more details of this stuff, and you'll understand again the significance of it. Typically, only a small number of career officials control Treasury's payment system, right? So not many people have access to these systems, and Musk just wants to come in and take control of the stuff. It's run by the Bureau of Fiscal Service. The sensitive systems control the flow of more than $6 trillion annually to households, businesses, and more nationwide. Again, this is $6 trillion annually that they process. Tens, if not hundreds of millions of people across the country rely on the systems, which are responsible for distributing Social Security, Medicaid benefits, salaries for federal personnel, payments to government contractors and grant recipients, and tax refunds, among tens of thousands of other functions. This is not a political role that Musk is kicking out. It's just someone who processes the payments and the disbursements, right? You want this to function smoothly. From Musk's point of view, because I follow this guy, I know what he's saying all the time. He probably wants to come in, replace all these people with robots, and whose robots are going to be obviously going to be of Musk design. And this is something that I just feel like there's too much power in this guy's hands. On top of that, a lot of people are worried, which I completely understand. I'll give you an example. So I see these kind of headlines here. It says U.S. Universities close offices, halt research in response to Trump's ban on DEI. So Trump and Musk, they keep complaining about hiring practices, etc. And so then they threaten to, cut people's funding. And then effectively, universities are like, crap, what do we do? And so now everyone's worried about, funding to cancer, funding to research, any number of things. And then Musk comes in and wants to control the effectively America's checkbook, right? It is a major problem that you have this unelected official coming in and doing all this stuff. As you guys know, he pushed out the FAA head, right? And then we just recently had a plane crash. This is what they want to do with your money. As you know, Trump's been talking about this Stargate crap. Musk is like, oh, you don't got the money, etc. Haha. And Musk has been suing to get involved with the Stargate stuff. If you guys don't know, again, the Stargate stuff has to do with Musk AI and robots. Stargate is supposed to be this idea that we're going to build these grand data centers, and invest a whole bunch of money so that AI can replace all of you. And it fits into the theme of what Musk wants. I'll put it in more simple terms. It feels like he was trying to build Skynet. I don't know what else to say. That's what it feels like to me. And what's crazy about recently, if you've been following the news with that whole DeepSeek out in China, where they can essentially do it cheaper, a lot cheaper, it makes you feel like, okay, so why are the Americans spending so much money on all of this, crypto nonsense and this AI, what I consider to be a Ponzi at this point? And where's all the money going? And then Musk comes in and wants to control the payment systems, right? It's pretty easy to see what's happening here. On top of that, and we're talking about money, Trump is saying, hey, I'm going to do 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada. And so remember back when Trump ran for the first time, he's like, hey, we're going to build a wall and Mexico is going to pay for it. Now, what I feel like they're saying, and he's not saying out loud, but what I feel like they're saying is, hey, we're going to build a Stargate and you're going to pay for it. And he's trying to pretend that it's Mexico and Canada paying for it, but it's actually you. Why? Because tariffs. It's just how tariffs work. The American companies will import goods, be it from Mexico or Canada. That'll be a 25% tax. The companies will then pass the cost onto you, the consumer. You pay that money. And then Trump and Musk, they're creating this new sovereign wealth fund. So that tariff money will get funneled into that fund. That fund will then disperse the money to Musk. It's pretty easy to see what's going on here. I don't know why enough people are talking about it. I think what it is, what they do with Musk and the Trumps, they just get you to hate the system entirely. Oh, hate education, hate healthcare, hate Social Security, hate Medicare, right? Hate Medicaid, hate all of these things because they hold you back, right? They hold you down. They take away your freedom. Medicare takes away your freedom. That's how Musk wants you to think. Because whenever you look at his speeches, like he'll like, hey guys, we're going to Mars. Mars is really awesome. And all these people are clapping. Oh yeah, let's go to Mars. So awesome. And it's like what? And then Musk will say, oh yeah, these regulations always hold me back. And we need to go to the Mars and dream. And it's just like what? And really what all this is, it's just one giant scam. I hate to report this stuff to you all the time, but this is what's happening. And what's crazy is that you have, Republicans in Congress that just go along with it, even though their constituents are going to get hurt. For example, I was looking at this, they were saying, it's like 39 states, have a lot of exports to Canada, right? It's like their, trade is really important. The thing is that people don't realize is like if Trump does his tariff war, Canada's going to hit back with tariffs, right? And it's really going to hurt both countries. There's going to be a lot of pain all around. It effectively increases taxes, and the people who get hurt the most are the people at the bottom of the economic scale. Unfortunately, right, the billionaires like your Musk and your Trump, they don't care about you. You're just a bunch of ants to them, and it's unfortunate. I'll just say this, guys. Here in Korea, you guys know where I live. We just arrested President Yoon, and now we're charging him with insurrection. The penalty is quite stiff. It could be capital punishment. It could be several years in prison. I don't know what that's going to end up being. But we do have political fights here in Korea. And I mention it because I'll just say there is another way to doing things opposed to just letting people run amok like Musk. These have been our headlines in Korea. Yoon, because it's President Yoon's his name if you don't know. President Yoon's aides visited the jailed president, right? So, and I smile because it's like 100% you should jail the guy. And if you don't know, Yoon basically tried to use the military to stage a coup, which has happened before in Korean history. There are still people who defend the criminals. That's what happens in USA as well, right? There's still people who defend the Musks and the Trumps. The same in Korea. It says here, acting president, again, vetoes special counsel probe into Yoon's insurrection charges. So I just want to say, so don't think that everyone is for jailing the president. There's still 30% that still support the guy, something like that. And I'll just tell you this, it was the wildest thing. My wife and I, we went to go visit her family for holiday. It's the Lunar New Year. And one of the uncles is like, what's the word to say? I'll just say this. We'll call it a zealot, right? Like really adamantly, for Yoon, that kind of stuff. He didn't defend Yoon per se, but I brought up history because I was asking, the family about, hey, have you seen this movie 1987? It's actually one of my very favorite movies. I think this is really important. It's about the fight for democracy. And I know it's a Korean movie. Some people don't watch foreign movies, but I'm just telling you, it's like learn from other situations around the world. Or this movie, right? 12/12 the Day, which is about a military coup. You put these two movies together and you'll kind of understand like the importance of this stuff. And the reason why I'm mentioning it is like I was asking these people, hey, what's your opinion about these kind of stuff? Because after we saw Yoon try to do a martial law in Korea, you're just kind of curious, what do Yoon supporters say? And they're kind of quiet on it, but then they get really angry about the past, which is very interesting, meaning that the way that I read it is like some people are completely irrational and they just live in some weird fantasy land. I don't know how else to put it. And so I just want to say that it's not just a phenomenon in USA to where, people support effectively, really bad leaders. And I mean, like really bad. That's why I encourage you to watch these movies. And then they try to delude themselves into, why they're still supporting bad people today. Whenever I bring this stuff up, because for anyone watching, it should be obvious that like, what the heck is Musk doing? This is not good. This is a person who's unelected, sending out his agents all around to whatever agencies, trying to get access to whatever computer systems. And we're talking about very sensitive stuff, payments to everyone, basically, right? $6 trillion, and trying to take control of effectively America's checkbook. I don't know what to make of it and why anyone isn't pushing back hardly. I don't know what's going on in USA, to be further frank. That's why you got to keep calling this stuff out. It's all in the public, right? And I think what's sad about it is because what it is that there's a bunch of, and I'll be honest with you guys, like really desperate people in the USA these days. And so they're looking for their Jesus/savior figure to save them. And they think it's Musk and Trump, but it's completely the opposite. These are billionaires who don't care about you. They don't understand your problems. And for them, the whole solution is, well, we're just going to fire everyone and replace you with robots. And then you're all going to be rich. As if that makes any sense at all. So please share your thoughts on this one. And please be careful out there. And I'll catch you in the next video.